Hello, it's me, French Ted, and we are here for episode number, 86, I think, of our AEW series. I'm going to say 86, I think it is. And this is the penultimate episode as we head into, not penultimate, is that the right word? Heading into, or the next episode is our event. It is the Grand Prix final, which I'm very, very excited for. So this is our kind of go-home show for the Collision brand. You might be a little bit disappointed that there's not really much Grand Prix hype in this episode. That's mostly because I'm just trying to rest everyone up. I don't want fatigue to be a huge issue at the Grand Prix final because I'm very concerned that it will be. So yeah, still not a huge amount of focus on there. There might be a promo or two, but the rest of it is just, storylines that we've kind of been following anyway on Collision. But we are here in the pre-show, and we've got the House of Black taking on the team of the Acclaimed and Johnny Gargano, who has now signed a full-time contract with us. You can see that he has got his new convenient lengthy angle, that's fine. His Johnny Wrestling gimmick has got over as great, which is good to see. But in a decent pre-show match, it is Johnny Gargano and the Acclaimed who defeat House of Black's Brody King, Malachi Black and Ilya Dragunov when Johnny Gargano makes Malachi Black submit with the Gargano escape. I mean, that's not realistic, is it? It would have probably been Brody taking that if we're thinking about it logically. But either way, Gargano gets the win. Looking at performances, it is Ilya and Gargano that stand out, which is awesome to see. So the two newest members of the roster out of these guys. And yeah, not much to say, just a pre-show match. The next pre-show match is a bit of a high spots one. Matt Sydal taking on Lio Rush. And in a match that had decent wrestling but not much heat, it is Lio Rush again that gets the win. Building up all this pre-show momentum just for him to disappear in the next couple of weeks, I think it is. He goes away in like a week or two. So yeah, nice to get that momentum because he'll retain that momentum, I believe, until he comes back. So maybe we can plan something fun with him. But either way, that is done. We are now heading into the main show. Two big matches I want to announce off the bat because we are opening with Keith Lee versus Zack Sabre Jr., which is for the AEW International title. And our main event tonight, as per Hook's request, it is Hook taking on Calvin Tankman in a cage match. This is a non-title match. Hook says the title doesn't need to be involved. Calvin Tankman agrees. He says once he defeats Hook, he will earn that title opportunity. So that will be our main event later on tonight, among other things happening in between. But let's get straight into our opening match. Keith Lee, Zack Sabre Jr. for the AEW International title. Oh my goodness, 97! Oh, I did not think it would be this good. Wow. We should have saved this for the Grand Prix final, shouldn't we? Oh, well, we've gone and done it now. Either way, in a bout that had superb wrestling, my favourite word, and good heat, it is, of course, Keith Lee that retains. I mean, the only person that's managed to stop Keith Lee, a few people have stopped him, don't worry, is Keith Lee defeating Zack Sabre Jr. in 25 minutes with the Spirit Bomb. And what a lethal Spirit Bomb that probably was, because Zack Sabre Jr. is a skinny little boy. Keith Lee's a big man. He probably ragdolled the life out of him. But this is defense number 3 of his AEW International title with a 97. Wow. Keith Lee with a 92 performance. Zack Sabre Jr. with an 87. There wasn't much selling shown, but that doesn't matter because we got a 97. And that opens our show to a very, very strong start. No Combat Club members to be seen. Zack Sabre Jr. did this all on his own, mostly because, Shane Haste, Wheeler Yuta, etc. probably don't want to become Keith Lee's next target. So very smart from them. Following this, though, is a little backstage segment. It's between Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. And, they're kind of just showing off their little... What do you call it? What's a lady bromance called? A cismance? No. A cismance. I don't know. A galmance. I don't know what it is. They're friends, all right? Britt's happy that her and Jamie Hayter are back on the same page and that they're friends again. And Jamie seems to be, pretty okay with it as well. So it's nice to see that these two former very close friends are now friends again. For how long? Who knows? I'm not foreshadowing anything. I just thought I'd throw that in there. But yeah, just a nice little promo between these two. They're just backstage vibing, hanging out. Really happy that they're, one, able to team with each other, and two, able to just be friends. Because originally, a few weeks ago, actually maybe a month or two ago, it was very much, we'll be civil, but we're not friends. But, you know, a friendship has blossomed again. So, nice one. After this, though, we stay backstage where Renee is interviewing Demi Bennett ahead of her open challenge for Toni Storm and Toni Storm only. And Demi Bennett reckons that Toni Storm will be a no-show. You know, I've embarrassed her a handful of times already in my very short AEW career, and I don't think Toni Storm wants to be embarrassed again, especially on such a stage that is the Grand Prix final. So I'm expecting me to make my entrance, wait a couple of minutes, and then just walk back out, because Toni Storm isn't showing. If she's got a brain in that head of hers, she ain't appearing. But that, of course, is down to Toni Storm whether she appears or not. So you'll have to let me know in the comments section if you think Toni Storm is going to appear and accept Demi Bennett's challenge. Yeah, nice 86 racer segment here. I mean, Renee Paquette's great on the mic, as is Demi Bennett. So yeah, the two of them together, it just works. After this, though, we head into the ring for some trios action. And it is Rebecca Knox teaming up with the Magical Sugar Rabbits of Yuka Sakazaki and Mizuki, taking on the Ito Respect Army's leader, Maki Ito, and her deputy, Miyu Yamashita and Emi Sakura. And an bout that had decent wrestling, but not a great deal of heat. It was Rebecca Knox and the Magical Sugar Rabbits that get the win when Rebecca Knox pins Emi Sakura with the Exploder Suplex. Emi being the weak link, which is fair enough. She was there to eat the pin. Maki Ito, you know, really limiting her performance in this match because she wanted to study Rebecca Knox. Rebecca Knox trying to get her hands on Maki throughout this match, but it just didn't work. But don't worry, girls. You will get your one-on-one action tomorrow night at the Grand Prix final, where the entire Ito Respect Army are banned from ringside. A nice 77 rated match here. Got some really good numbers. You know, Yuka doing really well with a 69, Rebecca Knox 77, Maki Ito not doing the best with a 68, but hopefully she'll pull it out the bag when she needs to. Again, Miyu Yamashita putting in some good numbers, someone that I really want to maybe focus on in the coming weeks and months. But yeah, Rebecca Knox gets the win on the Go Home show. What does that mean for the Grand Prix final? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Heading backstage now. Well, I say backstage, it's a pre-recorded promo video, and it's just Pac looking menacing, you know, working out in the gym. It's very dark, it's grim, you know, he's really trying to heal himself up, and just says that he is looking forward to completely destroying Pentagon at the Grand Prix final. So Pac, you know, along the lines of saying, anything goes? Well, that just works in my favour. So Pac has definitely got some crazy and wild ideas in store for Pentagon and potentially Rey Fenix if he chooses to appear. But yeah, nice 98 rated promo here. Pac's just awesome, isn't he? He's so good. We love Pac. Pac needs a title soon. It's been way too long. He's had so many opportunities. And he's just fallen short of that final hurdle. So hopefully he can get up there again. We'll have to wait and see. But we are heading into the ring now, and this is a match requested by Hangman Adam Page and Bandido. You know, they want to kind of warm themselves up ahead of the tag team match that they have next week against Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi. And Nigel McGuinness has organised Darby Allin and Nick Wayne to be their opponent. Oh, 94! My goodness. Didn't think that was going to happen. But in a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, it is, of course, the number one contenders, the team of Hangman Adam Page and Bandido, defeating the team of Darby Allin and Nick Wayne in 19 minutes when Hangman Adam Page pins Nick Wayne with a buckshot lariat. Obviously, Hangman head and shoulders above everyone else. Darby Allin doing pretty good with an 81, Bandido with an 82, Nick Wayne, you know, quite low with a 61, but he's going to be so good in the future. I can just tell. But yeah, 94. That's two world-class matches that we've had so far on this show. Collision really is the place to be. Sorry, Dynamite, but Collision really is that place. Yeah, Hangman and Bandido building that momentum heading into Collision next week, where they will face Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi for those World Tag Team Championships. And it will be their final chance at those belts because, of course, at the Grand Prix final, we do have a number one contenders 4-way match for those belts as well, who will face whoever wins, that match. Following on from this, though, it's main event time. But before the two men are locked in a cage, Nigel McGuinness comes out and announces that there will be a 25-man battle royal in the pre-show of the Grand Prix final to decide Hook's next opponent for the FTW title. Of which Calvin Tankman's a little bit perplexed, because he thinks that if he defeats Hook tonight, he's deserving of a title opportunity. So Calvin's like, what about me? And Nigel says, okay, if you win tonight, you are next in line, but the Battle Royale still goes ahead. The winner of that match will be in contention for an FTW world title shot. And Calvin Tankman's like, that's more like it. But yeah, let's not waste any more time. Let's see who can get the win out of this non-title Hook versus Calvin Tankman cage match. Let's get straight into it. 80. Okay, I'll take that. In a bout that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Oh, it's Hook. Of course it is. Hook gets the win. He defeats Calvin Tankman again in a cage match by submission with the REDRUM. Calvin Tankman completely passes out in this match in the middle of the ring, and then Hook just kind of makes his way over the top of the cage, climbs his way out, grabs his belt, and just makes his way up the ramp, as cool guys do. And Tankman is just unconscious in the middle of the ring after falling to the REDRUM. So yeah, Hook still as strong as ever. I mean, can anyone defeat this man? But that is how we end our show. Post-show, though, on Twitter, backstage segment, Calvin Tankman's recovered. He's got an ice pack on his shoulder. He's a bit beaten up and bruised. But he confirms that he will be in that battle royal and he will win and take the title from Hook once and for all, because he's getting sick of it. He's sick of Hook. He says, this is my last time, my last chance. If I don't win this, I'm done. And that ends our show. At 86, nice. I mean, it was going to be great. Look at these matches, a 97 and a 94 on a TV show. You guys are being spoiled. But yeah, as I said, there wasn't going to be much going into the Grand Prix final, just because we want to rest up all those important people. But I do have the confirmed card in front of me right here. This is in no particular order, so don't take the listing that I'm reading out as gospel for the order. In the next episode, you will see in the description, as always, at all of our events, the order of the match card. But we will have the 4-way number one contenders match for the World Tag Team titles. Aussie Open taking on High Five, taking on the Combat Club, taking on the Best Broskis of MJF and Matt Cardona. We also have the 25-man Battle Royale that was just announced. So 25 men will be in the ring at once. The final surviving man will face Hook for the FTW World title in the future. Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia take on each other for the AEW World Light Heavyweight Championship in an ultimate submission match with a 30-minute time limit. The most submissions in 30 minutes will come out as the champion. Demi Bennett has her open challenge against Toni Storm, and Toni Storm only. If Toni Storm accepts, the match will be for the AEW Women's World Championship. We also have Hikaru Shida taking on Jade Cargill for the IWGP Women's Championship. And speaking of more Women's Championship matches, we have also got Maki Ito defending her AEW Women's International Championship against Rebecca Knox. The Roberts family of Drew Galloway and FTR will be taking on La Facción, that is Andrade, Rush and Sammy Guevara, for the AEW World Trios Championships. You can thank Jake Roberts for that match. And then heading into probably the two matches I'm most excited for, we've got Pac taking on Pentagon Jr. in an anything goes match, which is sure to be fucking crazy. And then finally, our main event. You can guarantee this will be our main event. It is Volta, our Block A winner, taking on Kenny Omega, our Block B winner. The winner will become our AEW All-In Grand Prix champion and book their place at AEW All Out in September. And that is what you've got to look forward to in the next episode. No Jon Moxley No World Heavyweight Championship match on that card, so he does get the night off. Although with the Combat Club involved in tag team action, you never know if he's going to appear or not, or if he's going to appear someone else. You know, I'm not hinting at anything, just saying. But that is how we end this one, guys. The next episode will be the Grand Prix final, and following from that, we will return to our usual format of Dynamite and Collision in the same episode. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and I will see you all in the next one.